overcoming adaptive challenges requires shared leadership. And why is that the case? Because none of us have the expertise, the competency, the training, not by ourselves. None of us can pull that off. And once again, we need to be able to see a challenge from multiple angles. And so as Ron Heifetz says, he's the one that developed this theory around adaptive leadership, Harvard business guy. He's also a jazz musician, a practicing Jew, a medical doctor. This dude is very eclectic. Got a lot of things going on. But he himself sees from a lot of different angles, and he's an expert in multiple fields. But he's saying you got to have the humility to look at the challenge and go, I don't know what to do. And so then you got to give the problem back to the people. You've actually got to invite the folks that share the challenge into it together. So in a local church context, rather than being just the pastor or the youth minister or whatever, the staff person or even the staff persons together saying, hey, we're going to have to figure this out. Look to the expert. Instead, it is, we got to admit we don't know. And then we got to say, we got to create the kind of space, a holding environment where there's enough trust, enough relationship. For SLI, that's Spiritual Leadership Inc., our coaching network, we love to create very intentional covenantal environments that become a holding space where we can be accountable for spiritual growth. But then we can also say, here's the big, hairy challenge. Here's the adaptive challenge, or maybe multiple challenges. And then begin to discern our way into how's God going to lead us through this? And getting multiple perspectives, doing a lot of research, then doing a lot of experimentation. As the theory goes, you got to get to the balcony and see and kind of interpret what's going on, observe. From a biblical standpoint, I like to use the language of see and discern, that we're getting to the balcony to try to see what's actually happening, what are the challenges we're facing, and then discern like multiple kind of options of what could we do? How could we engage this? But then you got to get on the playing field or on the dance floor, and you got to experiment like crazy, learn like crazy. And then as we learn, we reflect, how did that go? We have a tool we use called RAD, reflect, adjust, do. But once we start an experiment, then we reflect on it, we make adjustment, and we do it again over and over and over and over and over to try to refine that, because it's the experimentation and the learning together that allows us to make progress on that adaptive challenge more than just sitting in a room having a meeting about it. We've got to actually get to work. The real leadership happens on the ground, but we've got to be able to pull back to that higher balcony view and say, what's actually going on? What's our challenge? What role can we play in this? And more often than not, those of us that have positional leadership, somebody like a pastor or a CEO or a youth minister, a staff person, a hospital administrator, whatever role you're playing, those that have leadership roles, that for us, rather than come up with the solutions, we're creating the space where we can come up with solutions together.